Having a handful of options and being unable to choose one is called analysis paralysis, and it can kill progress on your game. A few months ago, I did a deep dive on behavior trees and their alternatives, and one of the questions that kept coming up was, is it better to use behavior trees, state trees, or blueprints for blank? I was hesitant to answer because I hadn't implemented AI with blueprints yet, but I just did a small project and now I have an opinion, so let's get into it. What's good, y'all? I'm Shinobi. I've been making projects in Unreal Engine as a hobby for a while now. I've still got a lot to learn, but this channel exists to share what I'm learning in hopes that it'll help you make your dream games. As always, if you've got anything to add, please leave a comment. So first, let's make sure we're all on the same page about blueprints, state trees, and behavior trees. I'm going to run through these overviews quickly because we've already explored them in depth in another video. Now, behavior trees are a tree-like structure that executes actions from branches down to leaves. Epic states their primary function is for controlling non-player characters. The key difference between Unreal's behavior trees and others is that they're event-driven, which makes them very efficient. But that strength is also why people have issues with them. They require an additional file called a blackboard to keep track of variable values. Some people find that too complicated, and while this can get complicated, all forms of making AI can be complicated. If you take the time to learn the tool, you can surely learn to use it effectively. Now, state trees are Unreal Engine's newest offering in creating AI. It's a combination of a finite state machine and a behavior tree. It's the best of both worlds, really. Their strengths are that they're more dynamic, because they can be used for more than just controlling characters. I actually did a recent project where I used a state tree to manage game state. A lot of people think they're more legible than behavior trees and easier to understand, but to each their own. Now, blueprints, if you've used Unreal before, you probably know what blueprints are. Blueprints give you access to a handful of nodes that you can use to control AI and cycle through actions you want the character to make. Because of the nature of blueprints, I was able to debug issues faster and see what was going on much quicker. And I think that's the primary advantage of blueprints. Everything is in one file. It's easy to see what exactly is happening. Now, of course, there's debugging tools that can help you with state trees or behavior trees too. Now, to be honest, there's not one straightforward answer to this question. Of course, it depends on what you're making. But if you're really stuck on this decision, the best bet is to do the easiest option. Take the path of least resistance. As a software engineer, this is what I do on my 9 to 5. When I'm stuck trying to figure out how to implement something, it's usually because I don't understand the problem or the tools I can use well enough. The easiest way to gain understanding is to just do the easiest option based on the information that you have. I do the simplest thing until it stops working. Then I go back and change it when the need arises. I understand it's annoying to have to completely redo something, but it also has its benefits. For example, in this prototype of a game I'm making for my daughter, I wasn't sure what the best way was to control characters during cutscenes. The easiest option was to just do it from the level blueprint. I know there's some strong opinions on how terrible this could be, but until I need a more robust system, this allows me to create quickly. And the quicker I can create, the quicker I can learn how to make it better. It's easy to get bogged down in what's the right way to build this, when in reality, most people only care if the thing works well. Thor said it best, said something along the lines of, no one is going to criticize a good game that runs well because the underlying code is garbage or incorrect. The next time I'm confronted with a similar task, I'll know that I can just jump straight to the better tool. But I don't think there's a way around learning what the better tool is to begin with. So to summarize, when in doubt, do the simplest option first. Depending on your level of skill or what you have experience doing, it's probably going to be blueprints. As you gain more experience, which option you should use, depending on the situation you're in, will become more apparent. But like I said, I don't know if there's a way to skip that part of the learning process. Now, this next video is about how understanding your target audience impacts your game from start to finish. Please check it out. I prefer state trees, by the way.